I think that all of us with aging parents have hit that position to where, oh my gosh, I need some help. I need somebody to do something, just to go by and check on dad, or pick up
Mhm.
something for mom, or do something that won't take very much time.
And if you're not in town or you don't have time at that moment, it can be hard to know who to turn to.
Yes.
Well, today we're introducing you to Jeremy O'Bannon and Brooks Rhinehart. They have founded a company called Swingby.care. They're a partnering sponsor of Parenting Aging Parents. You are trying to solve for that. And so we're so glad that you are with us today. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's start with the idea of, we hear from so many in our community that sometimes, hey, I just need to get eyes on my mom. Or there's times when my mom will call from another, she's in Houston 3 hours away and she's having an issue with her computer, or she just needs a little help. Not something that I need to necessarily get a home care agency to come and help her with, because that would require a lot of time. But a lot of people are looking for something that could be just sort of a quick trip, or maybe just checking on them. So tell us a little bit about how Swingby will fix that.
Go for it, Brooks.
Yes, so we have created an on-demand or scheduled non-medical companion service. And it's a wellness check-in that could be for seniors, but it could also be for people, let's say, for instance, they just had surgery and they're bedbound and they just need a little bit of help. And so the idea around it is, again, non-medical task. If your mother or grandmother needs to have a light bulb changed, sure, that makes a lot of sense. But the way it's organized today is for our caregivers, companions, to show up to the house and go through a series of questions. And through those series of questions, we're going to learn a lot about the person. We're going to learn about, have they eaten, their hygiene, are the pets, animals fed, and trash out, mail in, things of that nature. And that report is also going to provide suggestions to the family member that could say, I did notice the backyard needed to be mowed. I noticed the front door doesn't really lock properly. I did notice the house could use some deep cleaning, and et cetera, et cetera. And as soon as we are done, that's going to be sent over to the caretaker and or the family members for them to review. Now, again, we will do light housekeeping, doing the dishes, and companion services like playing cards, watching Jeopardy, sure. And also transportation to and from doctor's offices, or if they need to go to Walgreens to run some errands, pick up their cleaning, not a problem. The way it's designed today, it's pretty simple. We know just from an industry standard, it's 35 minutes typically for us to do a wellness check-in and provide a report. And then it's $45 to do that. That's the minimum. And then it's $1 a minute anytime, anything over that initial 35 minutes. This is all app-based also. Do we have a hotline for people that are just refuse or are allergic to applications? For sure. So that there is solutions for those. But ideally, this is a digital approach that allows us to connect the caregivers and the care seekers together.
You mentioned the word companion. I think that's a key, because I think so many of our aging parents are looking for companionship, and not necessarily spend 8 hours a day doing something, but wow, if somebody could drop by and watch the stock market report with my dad, play cards with Kim's mom, anything like that, it just brightens their day a little bit.
You nail it.
Yeah, that's important. Companionship is really starting out the core of what we're trying to accomplish. We know, a lot of seniors are by themselves. Neighbors aren't what they used to be. Our parents, my parents, the neighbors was a big thing. So, that companionship is really the start and the core of what we're trying to accomplish. And then that'll lead into and blossom into a lot of other things we can do. But we think that one's going to be really important.
Yeah, I wanted to add on to that real quick, because I think it's important. They call it the gray tsunami. It's because the baby boomers are coming to age, and they are healthy and they are independent. But let's be real, we all need help every now and then. And so that is something that we're going to be able to provide to them that at a very fair cost. There's no commitments going to a traditional agency to do these types of things can be very costly, and you are committed to at least 4 to 8 hours a day, if not multiple days per week. And so that's the gap that we're trying to fill, or that we are going to fill.
Yeah, and to add on to that, so we're trying to apply a modern technology to kind of modernize this need and make it a little more seamless, a little easy to give the adult child of the parent peace of mind. We want to give them peace of mind. Sometimes you just need someone to go check on your parents, and that's really what we're trying to do here.
Sure. So really trying to solve for the challenge of mom or dad, especially in our case, in our situation, with thinking of the adult children in mind. But, I just need somebody to check on mom and dad, maybe spend a little time with them, get eyes on them. And I'm either out of town, I live out of town, I'm out of town for work, or I just have a super busy day and can't leave at that moment, whether they need help right that minute or might need help tomorrow, or we want to plan something ahead.
Exactly.
Well, we're finding a lot of people that have come to us and begging us to start is because they're exhausted. And that doesn't mean they don't love their parents, but they just can't go over there right now. And they need a service that can, and that's safe, and that they do get that generated report going. I feel good about that.
Yeah.
And, there's a couple things within the industry that they're alarming and sad, and it's very low pay. There's unfit caregiving due to this low pay. And I'm not going to say that we think we have cracked the code on how to make sure that the caregivers are provided a very aggressive payment schedule. And so the people that are going to come up to take care of you are not only going to be a professional that's in the industry, but they're going to get a fair wage. And there's a large safety component to this. And those are the 3 things that we're really focused on.
And that's important, because when we started, this started to help seniors and to provide the adult children peace of mind. But as Brooks and I started to kind of formulate things, we started to see from the other side, from the caregivers currently in the industry, whether it's hospice or physical therapy, a lot of these people are overworked, they're unhappy, and like Brooks said, they're not getting paid well. So the response we got from the other side, the supply side, has been huge. I mean, we've in the Austin area, the app's about to be, it's launched, and we have an enormous amount of activity and participation, people that have already signed up as caregivers, very highly qualified people that are very excited to have this new kind of modern platform and to have the flexibility to work their own schedule. So they'll be able to do this anytime they want, at their convenience, when they want to be active or inactive, to be a swing by companion.
Yeah. Well, and I think that brings up a great point, that just for helping us people understand sort of what this model looks like, because it is different than, okay, I'm going to call a home care agency and I'm going to make an appointment and all of that. This is really all app driven and really is like Uber or Lyft, but for caregiving. Is that probably a good way to be able to help people understand that, I'll go on the app, select or request somebody to go by and check out my mom. And just like with Uber or Lyft, a caregiver's going to be looking at that and saying, yeah, I have time to go do that right now, or I have time to do that one at 10 tomorrow morning. And they'll be able to select and choose to accept that job, if you will. Is that a
That's correct.
Simple way to explain it?
Yeah, the philosophy is the same. We're providing technology to make that match and to provide quality caregivers with people, with seniors or whoever that needs assistance, that need a check-in. So you got it.
And very similar to these ride sharing services, the app works very similar to where it is very intuitive, and you can literally watch these people come to your home. They're on their way. You can track them, and it's important. And so there's not any surprises, and you're going to see the profile of the person, and you can decline it, and you can do it again. We hope that doesn't happen, but that is something that we have built into the app for security purposes and for just to make sure everybody is in sync.
Yeah,
right. Everybody gets a choice.
Yeah, and one other key difference, I guess, between us and some of the traditional ride sharing apps is we're really focusing on trying to build a quality network of swing by companions. We want good people, we want quality people, because they're going in to check on your parents, my parents, Brooks's parents, and so it's important to us to build a strong network of companions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have another question about companionship, but at first I want to look at the app, and y'all can explain what people are going to see when they download the app and how they're going to be able to work.
Okay, good. So the application is a single application, but there are multiple sides to it, meaning you can either be a caregiver or someone that is seeking care. But right now, what we're showing you is that someone that is seeking, they would see exactly what a wellness check is. It provides a very clear picture of the things we do and the things that we cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
And you would be able to pick, these are the types of activities that I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can see there's a lot of things coming through. And then once you hit continue, we want to know a little bit about the swing by or the other person. Do they have limited mobility, vision impairment? They prefer a certain provider. They're going to put in their address. And we made it super simple to create an account. And we do this all through your phone. So it just sends you a text message. You put in that number, you verify, and you're in. So you can do it the traditional way, but that's the simplest way to do it. Of course, we have terms and conditions, and then you would book a swing by, and that can be, I need someone right now, or I want to do it scheduled. I know that I have a hair appointment tomorrow at 3:00 or whatever it may be. And you just got to set that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And again, it's only a 35-minute minimum. And as a user, you can book this for yourself as a senior, or you can book it for someone else, a parent or grandparent. And so, yeah.
Yeah. And so right here, I think it's important to know that everything is a wellness check-in. We have to keep that as the fundamental. We believe in sharp blades, not Swiss Army knives. So we're going to do that really, really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
But in addition to that, it's $1 a minute for other services. So if we have to go to the salon or in the doctor's appointment and we're taking notes, it just typically that's about an hour to an hour and a half
mm-hmm.
in order to accomplish all of that.
Sure.
Yeah, and here when you select who you want, you see their profile. You'll be able to click on their profile, see if they have certifications or what their qualifications are, and see a picture of them. And then you get to track them and watch them as they arrive at your house. So, yeah.
And that way there's no surprises. So mom or dad doesn't need to be worried about, okay, there's a stranger at my door. You're able to already say that, yes, they're there. They're not, they should be knocking on their door soon. And, please let them in because they're there.
We've even set it up to where if they didn't have the application, if they did have the application, they would be getting notifications saying
mm-hmm.
it started or they're on their way.
Mm-hmm.
They're about to check in, and if they don't, they get everything via text message. So it's very clear that, hey, Brooks is on the way,
mm-hmm.
and there's a timing component. Like, be ready. This is the picture of what it looks like, and he's going to be knocking at your door probably in a matter of 35 minutes.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
because you might have the app, your mother or father might not, and so
sure.
They'll get a text notification with the profile to see. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to think of everything we need to do to make this as seamless as possible and work really well.
Well, and there's such a wide range of possibilities for why someone might need the swing by person to come help them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. And I was going to bring up something about transportation, but.
Well, I love the part again about companionship and Jeremy, companionship is what kind of one of the reasons why it gave you the idea of doing this. Was something that you went through.
Yeah. We all have experiences, and Brooks and I and our parents are getting to an age, and our grandparents where they need companionship. You see when you visit them, or when you have friends and you go visit your friends' parents in assisted living, you see there's a need there. There's a loneliness there, and they don't want you to leave. Whether you're doing Meals on Wheels, that sometimes that's the only time some of these people get to see someone every day. I have experiences when I'm not doing swing by with Brooks here. I play music, and I've had a couple experiences in Austin and in Houston where in Houston, I was visiting assisted living for my wife's grandmother, actually. And I just started playing the piano in the lobby. And I'm not a great pianist, but I started playing I know 10 or 12 half songs. I started playing everything I knew. And next thing I know, the lobby was filled with every senior that was at the assisted living place.
You're the entertainment.
That's
now.
right.
Well, I was Billy Joel. I was Billy Joel for 30 minutes. It was amazing. And not about the feeling it gave me, but just looking at the fulfillment out there was extraordinary. And then I did the same thing in Austin, just was volunteering for my wife at the place at 35th and Exposition, Westminster, I think it's called. And it was the same thing. I just started playing everything I knew on the piano, and it was really moving just to see the reaction that had. And so that companionship, like you said, and that leads into another thing. There's a lot of musicians in Austin. I mean, this might be something where we provide music therapy as part of as an add-on to what we're doing. Who knows? The opportunities here to kind of satisfy that companionship and loneliness need are huge, we think.
And I think especially for those seniors, our parents who are living at home still, where they are potentially more isolated because maybe they don't drive anymore, they don't drive very much, and they're at home. Or even a lot of times I can think of that being companionship, but I'm thinking even with my mom being in an independent living where there's a lot of people around and activities, but there's still things like, oh gosh, we're having an issue with the computer and I live 3 hours away, and it probably is just a matter of it's just not she didn't turn it on right, or there's a simple fix, but it would be great to be able to have somebody to be able to provide that assistance sometimes too.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to do. Yeah. Whether it's tech help, like you said, or whatever, there's a million different things that are needed, non-medical services. And we want to fill that gap and provide that need, and ultimately provide peace of mind, not only for the senior, but also for their children who are worried about them.
Mm-hmm. I think it's important to note that we are not, even though Swingby.care is a non-medical task related company, all of the medical tasks that do come up, we will have affiliate network of agencies, whatever that may be. It could be literally a mowing company. It could be a house painting company, but we're going to be able to identify those things. And then through a vetted process, we can point them in that direction and say, this person does need memory care or does need somebody to maintain and watch them. We're not qualified to do that. We're not going to try to do that, but we know people that do it really well, and that we will get them involved.
So really, really like the eyes on
exactly
them, and then the extension of what services they might need in after that. But
it seems silly, but Mike said it very well. You're kind of like the home inspector that comes in and says, well, here's the things that you need to do. And then we need to start matching them up with people that can provide that very specific specialized care.
Possibilities are endless, I think, in so many ways that people need help and assistance. Swingby.care is the way to get to your website. Tell everyone again how to get the app downloaded.
So both. So Swingby.care will have the active buttons that will send you to the App Store if you want to do it through your computer or your phone. And also Swingby.care on both Apple and Android. You'll see the logo. It'll be very apparent. There are other ones that...
Stay away from.
Yeah. Swingby.care. Type it in and you'll find it in the app store. Yeah.
Got it. Okay,
That's
great.
Yeah. We appreciate all that you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it just shows everyone that you have an option to be able to get that help, because again, there's so many times, since we live about 3 hours away from your mom, from my mom and dad, that sometimes you just need somebody to go by just real quick and check on this, or maybe just show dad how to turn on the ringer on his iPhone.
Right.
It's like, I can't do it over the phone. I've spent 2 hours trying to explain it. It doesn't work.
That's right.
So you just try to need the help.
Lots of options.
That's right. Hey, if you have any other topic you'd like us to discuss, please let us know. Parenting aging parents.